What's up, y'all? It's week 7 of Men's Room FTM. Is Devin here, and this week's topic is dating. We got two main questions, and then I'm gonna just share my my relevant dating story. First is, how do the people you were with take your transition, and then how do the females you approach take it? I'll start with how do the females I approach take it. I don't approach females. I'm being celibate right now. For a lot of different reasons. The trans-related reason is just because I don't want to date anyone or have sort of like sexual interactions with anyone until I'm being perceived completely as male. So that's my preference with that. So I don't approach any females right now. How do the people you were with take your transition? Okay. Well, I've only dated one person while being trans identified, and that was last year. It was actually like 7 months ago, and this person knew that how I identified that I was trans and everything prior to us getting together, but for one reason or another, this person was stubborn and obstinate about pronouns. She was using the wrong pronouns with me throughout our whole relationship. We were 9 months together. You know, I tried to say stuff, but I don't even know. It was a ridiculous situation. And also, she was familiar with the idea of being trans because she had dated a trans man actually just before me. And when I met her, she was a self-identified bisexual. By the end of the relationship, she was talking about being a hardcore lesbian, which was bullshit because she often has interactions with dudes, whether they be tranny boys or bio dudes. So it was sort of rough because she put on the guise that she understood what it was to be trans and what it is to date a trans person, but she was not really supportive at all. She wanted me to be the lesbian that she molded me to be. She wanted to be the lesbian couple. She was really preoccupied with how people in her social circle saw her and how society saw her. And I think her identification as lesbian is more of a political statement, more of a like her wanting to be in the lesbian culture than anything, because she's definitely attracted to men. But yeah, so basically she was okay, or supposedly supportive of me being trans until I started talking about actually physically transitioning. That's when the breaking point sort of happened. Like, towards the end of our relationship, I told her that I was seriously thinking about taking testosterone, actually that I planned on it, and going through with physical transition, getting top surgery, everything like that. And as soon as I started talking about stuff like that, she started freaking out. I tried to refer her to some sofa, support videos and like groups and stuff, and she went into defense mode and started talking about me trying to change her identity, which is bullshit because her identity was false anyways, what she was saying she was going by. But anyhow, so I told her that I was going to do these things to physically transition, and she didn't support it at all. She was actually really negative about it, which was surprising because we had been together for almost 9 months at this point. But then I just sort of reached a breaking point and realized that the relationship just wasn't worth it anymore. Neither of us were happy. And I didn't want to be with someone who didn't want me to be myself. So I realized that it just wasn't a good situation, and she wasn't the person I thought she was. Initially, I would respect her if she really was a self-identified lesbian and didn't feel like we could continue our relationship because it would mess with the way she identified, even though we were supposedly in love. I would respect that if she were a real self-identified lesbian. But because I knew this woman and know that she's had sexual interaction with men and still has that option open for the future, I was sort of like, you know what, I have to leave this situation because you're sitting here telling me to my face that you love me and that love, basically has no bounds, but you're so concerned with how people view you that you're willing to stifle my own happiness. So at that point I just said peace and I left. And I've been doing really good ever since. I haven't dated anyone since, and I haven't engaged in sexual relations since. And that's sort of when I kicked off my celibacy. I was like, I'm gonna take this time for myself. This is me time. But yeah, so that's my trans dating experience. It wasn't positive. I learned a lot though from the relationship, and I definitely know what to look out for when I'm finding a potential person that I would date now. And there are just certain things now that I wouldn't put up with that I put up with them. So that's it. That's my dating week 7. Stay tuned for next week's topic, dysphoria. That should be very interesting because we all have a lot of different takes on that. All right, y'all. Keep it easy.